Good morning, YouTube. Today, what I want to talk about is the KLYMIT Cross Canyon 2-person, 3-person, and not on camera, but was in a previous video, and I'll put a card up there, 4-person tent. All these tents, just so you know, they have the same layout. The only thing that's going to be different with them is their dimensions. That is the height, the width, and the length. So before I get further in the review, I just want to let y'all get a little look at this. I'm by the river out here. Hope you can see. It's nice and sunny. The river's nice and calm. You got the tower over there. It's a great place to get some coffee. It was a very peaceful night, but very hot. It's only like 6:30 in the morning, and it is already 27 degrees Celsius, which is, I want to say roughly 85, could be off on that, in Fahrenheit. It's hot. For this review, because we're going to cover 3 tents, what I want to focus on, because I already talked about the 4-person tent in the previous video, I'm not going to talk about that too much. What we're going to focus on is the 2- and 3-person tent. Now, as you can see, I have the 2-person tent right here in my hands. And this is a tent I got spring of 2024, along with the 3-person tent and the 4-person tent for that matter. As I covered I think I covered this in other videos, KLYMIT, the company where I bought this from, they had a big sale during the spring and summer, and I decided to load up on equipment to try them out. So, let's go in this video. You know, I'm going to cover the company real quick. Then we'll cover the specs. I will take you on a tour of the product, and then I'll talk about what I like and don't like. You could say the good and the bad. And then behind the camera, I have some backpacks and stuff we can model with this, because I want to show you without going into the specs, or how can I put it this way? It's one thing to talk about numbers, like how heavy something is, how long something is, but if you're watching this on your camera, I'm sorry, not your camera, like your iPhone, your computer screen, that doesn't really help you much. So I got some backpacks here. We're going to actually put this stuff in so you can see for yourself how well it fits, and maybe if this is something for you. Okay, with that in mind, let's get started. So one of the first things we got to really talk about, I think, when dealing with the KLYMIT 2-person, 3-person, and 4-person tent, is we want to talk about the case it comes in. Pretty weird, right? It's usually not the first thing you talk about, but you may have noticed this case is not like your normal tent case. Most cases, or compartment bags, whatever you want to call it, would be something like this. You might zip it up, put your stakes inside, poles inside, whatever else you want, and you zip it up. Or it has what they call like the shark mouth. It's got a big mouth, and you just shove everything inside. As you can see, this is completely different. KLYMIT's approach, and it's an ingenious one, is to turn your case into a mat, so that you got these 4 stakes, holes right here. You got these things here, so you can stake it down. You can work on your tent, hammer, whatever you got to do. It's going to keep your knees on your pants, whatever. It's going to keep everything clean. It's a good idea. And what you do is, work with me here, because I know this is a bad example, but if I had the tent, right, pretend I'm on the ground, you just wrap it up, roll, 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 roll. You would roll it up. And then with this buckle here, and the other buckle, kind of just fasten them together, and you might see I got these on the side, and you just clamp it together, and it's going to end up looking like the 2-person tent I just modeled for you a few moments ago. Not a bad idea. The only thing I don't like is with this is, where do I put my stakes at? Where do I put my accessories? I have nowhere to put them at. So what I do is I have to find someplace safe, like maybe put them in the trunk of my car, keep them in my backpack, something like that. But hey, you know, this is something you might like. Next. Okay. So now let's focus a little bit on the 2-person tent. The 2-person tent, 6 pounds. All what you see here is like 6 pounds. There is an optional underground sheet you can buy. If KLYMIT has it on the website still, it's about $30. Check there for yourself. That weighs an additional 0.7 pounds because I have it at home. It's not featured on this video, but I do have it. The only issue is, if this is 6 pounds with the tent and poles and everything set up, then you throw in the ground sheet, you're talking about like something that's 6.7 pounds for a 2-person tent. Let me tell you, you can find other options that are a lot lighter. 6.7 pounds for a 2-person tent and the ground sheet, that's heavy. So something to keep in mind. And I will also point out, I have that ground sheet, and unless I am doing something wrong and I'm not very good at connecting dots together or something, so to speak, the buckles don't fit either. So like the buckles on like this tent will not connect to the buckles on the ground sheet. Maybe I'm doing something wrong, but anyway, I'm having that issue with it. So I would personally say, if you do find that ground sheet, I wouldn't necessarily kill yourself to get it, although it could come in handy. This place right here, let me show you real quick. This is a rocky place. See, look at that. Oh, I say look at this, and then my camera just, hold on. One second. All right, look at this. You can see the rocks here. Rocky, rocky, rocky. That is a great thing to tear up tent bottoms. However, so far this tent, as you can see, there has no rips, no holes in it. So good on KLYMIT for that. The bottoms seem okay. Another thing about the 2-person tent is that official specs, 86 inches long, 75 inches wide, and 46 inches high. It's a big tent, which might also contribute to some of that weight. So if you don't mind the extra weight, but you want a big tent, that's something, you know, you might like. And let's see what else. 75 inches, 86 inches long. It is a 2-person tent, polyester. I'm reading the specs off Amazon. And that's it. I will say I've taken this out on several trips. It has been in rain, light rain, not the heavy super duper rain, and it's worked fine. Okay, so keep that in mind. Next, let's move on to the 3-person tent, and then I will take you onto a tour of the inside of the tent. Because remember, the 2-person, the 3-person, and the 4-person have the same layouts, the same features. It's just the dimensions are different. So let's begin. All right, now for the 3-person tent, I got a little treat. We're going to use the product card. So this is going to come directly from the manufacturer, right here with the current, this is the current data as I bought this tent. So let's flip through here real quick. You got to, by the way, this does come with your tent, right? You got the product card. It says welcome to the Cross Canyon 3. It tells you everything that's included. I hope you can see that. Make sure you got that. Rainfly tent body, Cross Canyon mat, 16 aluminum stakes with storage sack, and 2 separate poles with storage sack. Now you can see maybe here, this is heavy on the mesh. It's mostly mesh, so you don't, this is a 3-person tent. You don't want to use this in winter time, unless you don't mind being cold. But on hot summer days, yes, it's great to get that extra airflow and stuff from this. But it does give you instructions, see, setup instructions and how to go, how to set it up. This is a 3-person tent, so it's got to show you the layout, the ideal layout, and how everybody should be sleeping. And I don't even have to really read you the specs, because right here, can you see it right here? I got the specs right here, so you could freeze this video and read these for yourself. Oh, even more instructions. So that's pretty cool. That is your 3-person tent, and yeah, it weighs like 7.6 pounds, so maybe a little heavy for a 3-person tent, but since it's the only 3-person tent I ever used, I guess it's okay. Though I will say this, I won't take long hikes with it. Next is, let's do an exterior tour of the tent, right? We're going to take a walk around to show you the features. First, you can see here, this is the door. You have the vestibule, which I have zipped up and tucked away on those, on toggles over there. You got some toggles on the side, so you can stow the vestibule away if you don't need it. Also, you might notice you can see mesh on the other side because there's two doors. That side, this side, that vestibule, this vestibule, those doors, exactly the same. That is one thing I do like about this tent. So it doesn't matter what side you position or so, you can get in and out from both sides. And you can also see, while I'm here, I have this INTEX brand Dura beam standard mat. It's kind of like a person and a half wide. And you can see how much space it takes up in there. So if you want to do like solo camping or maybe two people, very much obviously you got a lot of room, you'll be comfortable. And this backpack here, rucksack, this 100-liter e-really stock pack, it will fit right there. So if you need storage space, it'll fit right there. Okay, having said all that, let's do the exterior tour. Okay, rainfly, buckle. So you got tie-down stakes, or stakes, sorry. On the outside here, you got these little loops right here, so you can put more stakes down. You should notice, see how high it is off the ground? This skirt is designed again for 3 seasons to allow airflow. Not something you want for winter. You got guy lines to tie down where it's real windy. And I should mention too, since this is a rocky area, these poles will not go down very far. These little stakes here. So if it looks sloppy, that's why. More stake down points. Another stake down point on the back of this vestibule. It's the same thing as you go around guy lines. You do have ventilation right here, both on this side and the opposite side. Okay. Nothing super fancy, but it all works. Next, I'm going to remove this outer fly. That way I can show you what this looks like with just the mesh up. And, it just makes giving you a tour easier. So, wait 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Now, as you can see, the fly is off. So, let's go ahead and take that. Let's do the exterior first. There's something to show you. Okay, as you can see, these tent poles are cross beam. So, there's one that goes across there, one that goes across here, and they connect to these clips. Now, the thing I don't like about this design is you can see here, there's nothing up there to hold these two together. I mean, it hasn't fallen apart, it works. But I will tell you this, when you try to set this up, and let's just say I have like this beam up and that one flat, this tent will have a tendency to sway, fall over. The tent pole might come out of the little grommet hole down there. So, that can be a hassle sometimes. But other than that, as you can see, it works. Okay, here's the back door I was talking about. And let's get in here, and I want to show you the gear loft and pockets real quick. So, the tent comes with 2 pockets, 1 pocket here, pocket there, pocket, along with this little, what is that? Oh, yeah, safety warning thing. You have a gear loft up here, held up by these toggle points. And you got a gear pocket here, and right behind it, another gear pocket. Let me tell you a weakness though, these gear pockets. It's these toggles. As you can see, it works. But if you touch it too much or a little too much, these things will pop out like that one did over there for whatever reason. But you can see you got a loop here. Well, I hope you can see you got a loop, and you just put the toggle through. So there's a lot of tension on these. I think that's why they pop out so easily. But I got one hand here, so I'm trying to get this out. We want to pack this up here soon, so. Oh well, I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, this is it. I mean, and you can see how it's got a high bathtub, so it's good for keeping water out. It is seam tape on the ground, right? Very, very important. Just like the rain flap or the rain fly, it's got seam tape on it to keep it waterproof. So good on that. And let me step out of here. Okay, now as you can see, I'm outside the tent. What I'm going to do next, I'm going to break this tent down. I'm going to wrap it all, you know, put everything together. And then we're going to model. I'm going to show you what rucksacks that I have in my collection that you might have in your collection that this will fit to, and how well. So that way, if you like this, maybe you can get some ideas on how you want to do a little planning for packing and, you know, for your next backpacking adventure. So hold on. Okay, now as you can see over here, I have the 2-person and the 3-pin. They're all packed, and I also laid them side by side so you can get an idea of the dimensional difference between these two. I'm going to use now as a time and opportunity to put these into these. And I'm sorry, my camera tripod is getting caught up in bushes and stuff, so that's why it's jerky. Okay, first, also, I have a hole beneath me. I'm trying to maneuver around. Sorry about all that. So this is going to look a little awkward. I'm sorry. Too much sunshine on to my right and to my left, so I have to film here. Okay, so to the left, we have the Rush 100, which has been featured on this channel before. And thanks to a fire a couple years ago, this whole this strap got burned. Right, I don't buckle here anymore. I lost the pouch in the fire. That's a whole separate video on itself, how that happened. I won't go into that. But we're gonna put this in here first. Oh, and over here we have the Eberly stock Battleship as a 100+ liter backpack. We're gonna work with that too. But first, let's focus on this. Okay, let me maneuver the camera around. Now, here's the scenario, the situation. I am pretty confident that this 2-person backpack will easily fit in here, especially since I have the sleeping bag compartment here that I can unzip and just shove it in there. But let's be real, when we go camping, backpacking, however you like to look at it, everybody wants a sleeping pad. Everybody wants a sleeping bag. So I'm trying to do it without this compartment. Let's just use the main compartment. See if it can fit in there. Open it up. Okay. The 2-person tent. Fits. So it fits, but as you can see, you don't have a lot of room here for much else. You're gonna have some room in this particular backpack, rucksack, however you want, you know, some extra equipment here, but it does take up quite a bit of room. Keep that in mind. Now for fun, what about this 3-person tent? That'd be something. Ooh, hold on here. Three-person will fit. However, it's taking up most of your space, almost all space. You got a space here for like a little sleeping bag, a little few accessories here, and whatever you can put on these outside pockets, and that's it. Okay, next, we're gonna transfer to the Eberly style. Okay, back. Now, the same rules apply. We're gonna assume you're going packing. If you're hot, you know, backpacking or something, you're gonna have a sleeping bag. So I got one down there, pretty big one actually. So the question is, how well do these tents fit in here? Okay. Now you see this 2-person tent slides right up here. I can slide it right through this front door. Pretty simple. I've got extra room for this cook kit. This, and lots of more room. Not to mention all these pockets. Good to go. Let's try something else. Let's have a little fun real quick. Can I put the 3-person tent there? Now, most people, I doubt, are seriously going to do this, but this is just for fun. Let's try this out real quick. shove that in there. Oh yeah. Check that out. So, we have the 3-person, the 2-person. They will fit in the main compartment. Excuse me. And there is room left over. You got all this room from the storm collar to shove stuff in here. Exterior pockets and even like little nooks and crannies here. So, that's pretty good. Of course, these 2 tents are like, what, over 17 pounds total. I don't think anybody will do it. But it's a fun little experiment. And I hope you enjoyed seeing that. Seeing a little demonstration of how big these tents are and how they work with real rucksacks. Okay, now let me clean this up and give you my final thoughts. All right, it's time to finish up with my final thoughts. So let's recap a few things. First, KLYMIT, American company, products proudly made in China. Oh yeah. You can find KLYMIT, Amazon, your local post exchange. If you're in the military, right, you got the post exchange, you can find one. You can find it at other websites. And of course, you can go to KLYMIT.com. Now, let's talk about I guess people call it the brass tacks, the things that are really, really important to them. Number one, the value. Prices are going to vary on this. This is why I'm not going to share the price. Although I will tell you this. Go to KLYMIT's webpage, KLYMIT.com's webpage. If it's on sale, then you'll want to buy it. If it's the full retail price, you probably don't. Like this one is $248 at my local post exchange. And it's about the same price on KLYMIT's webpage right now. As I was filming this video, I looked up the price. It's something like that. You can find it much cheaper on Amazon. Same with the 3-person, 4-person there, etc., etc. Now, are these the lightest tents in their categories? No. You can go to companies like Nature Hike, One Tigress, which are Chinese, by the way, who will use lighter material, stronger material, I might argue, some would argue, like with, they use nylon, sil nylon, in some cases more innovative designs, and they're much cheaper on Amazon. Their retail prices are much cheaper than what KLYMIT.com, KLYMIT wants for their products. Having said that, if you want something that works, hey, you don't want to guess around, maybe you saw this video and you're like, okay, that works for me. It's big, it's roomy, relatively easy to set up. If that's for you, go for it. So yeah, that's the thing. Like I said, I got these on sale and that's what made it work for me. Could you find better? Sure. But they work. And so I'm not going to go chasing around for other products and stuff, just because they're a little bit fancier. But having said that, if you're new to all this, you might want to do a little shopping first. See what's out there before you decide to commit to get one of these. But anyway, all that rambling aside, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. Please leave a comment below. Especially, I'd love to hear your thoughts or comments on this KLYMIT tents. And you all have a good one.